The beat-em-up genre is a beloved staple of the arcades and home consoles alike. Classic games like Final Fight, Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles helped pave the way for modern games such as Streets of Rage 4. Ever since the advent of the genre, there has been no shortage of beat-em-up games to play on any given console, each of them trying to outdo each other. Some modern efforts such as the Takeover have been good, while others have been hot garbage. It's in this current climate that developer Mito Games and publisher QUByte Interactive brings to us Wardogs, Red's Return, a very interesting twist on the genre that we all know and love. At its core, Wardogs, Red's Return is a classic retro-style beat-em-up whose heroes, enemies, and side characters are all dogs. You play as Red, the former top dog of the Orphan Street Gang, who is now a professional boxer and is hiding out after knocking out the middleweight champion during a press conference promoting your upcoming fight with him. You stagger into your old neighborhood bar only to learn that the local gangs are running amok and there is an uprising brewing. The controls for Wardogs are extremely simple, which isn't a bad thing. Buttons make your character punch, kick, jump, and block. Alternating your kick and punch buttons allows you to pull off combos, and raise your rage meter, which allows you to perform one of 3 breaks. The first break interrupts most enemy moves and gives you more time to pull off combos. The second recovers some energy, and the third gives you a powerful smash attack that you can use to defeat multiple enemies at once. Later on in the game, you unlock Rage Mode, which replaces the smash and grants you stronger attacks, while causing less damage to you for a certain time. You are also awarded 2 tech attacks. One is a shoulder attack that you can use to gain the advantage against multiple enemies, and the other is a tornado attack that racks up hits against enemies and is really fun to look at. You can use the tech attacks multiple times throughout the stage without having to fill up the rage meter, but there is a cooldown period to prevent you from spamming the attacks. The game also allows you to wield weapons that are sprinkled throughout the game, however break after using them a few times on your enemies. The variety of the weapons is low, but they get the job done. It would have been nice to see a bomb or a gun incorporated into the weapons to add a bit of variety to the combat. Speaking of the combat, it's a bit bland. This is due largely in part to the lack of a grapple or throw attack in your skill set. The other thing about the attacks is that the combos that you do aren't really elaborate. The game slows down and you get to see a little animation after a power move, which is fun to look at first but gets old really soon and tends to break up the flow of the combat. Pressing jump followed by the kick button allows you to do a jump kick. Pressing jump and the punch button also allows you to do a jump kick. My question is, why? Why not an elbow smash or a Superman punch to break up the monotony? The other thing with the combat is that you run all the time. If the developer would have incorporated a dash button, they could have opened up a whole new set of moves, making the combat more interesting. The game rewards you with tech implants and cores that enhance your abilities and can be stacked. Some of the modules are very useful while others are marginal improvements. The game isn't too difficult at all, and I found myself having to use the tech implants later in the game, which made the game even easier than it is. Each mission contains a few stages with a boss fight at the end. I found the boss fights were extremely easy. The game doesn't allow you to set your difficulty level in story mode, but will offer you more difficult stages to take on in the missions mode. I thought that was really weird, but hey, we are talking about a game full of dogs. The enemies in this game are really fun to look at. There are big dogs, small dogs, punk dogs, and tech dogs. Beating them up made me a little bit sad though, because of animal cruelty. Totally kidding, but the whole premise of the game is very interesting. One of the game's strong points is its story, which for a beat 'em up usually falls into the genre of save the girl or save the city. Rarely do you get to save your hood from a bunch of tech-powered mutts. The story is fun and doesn't take itself too seriously. The story is told in a comic book-like aesthetic. There's no voice acting involved, so you must read the dialogue that moves the story forward. Not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to have listened to the dogs talk, because I've always wondered what they would have sounded like with voices. Another high point of the game is its graphics. They are beautifully rendered and each dog looks like a badass brawler. I swear that I kept hoping Snoop Dogg would come out as a special character because this game reminded me of the What's My Name video. The sounds of the game are nothing special, so I won't be talking about them. Each level is so short that I hardly got the chance to appreciate the sounds or hear anything really ear-catching until the end of the game. The game has two modes, a story mode which is roughly 8 short levels, and a mission mode. In mission mode you can replay some alternate versions of the story mode missions, which includes a horde mode in which you take on waves of dogs all trying to kick your ass. And probably sniff it. While beating the game will take you a little bit over an hour, it does have some replayability value in that you can buy different clothing items that add flair to your character. You can also buy different cores and tech implants to make you stronger. This game could have been great, but instead it's rather mediocre. It's not hot garbage, but it's just meh. It's the game's length, the bland and repetitive combat, and the apparent lack of a 2-player co-op mode or online mode hold this game back. The game is no blockbuster, but at the price of $3.99 you get what you pay for. And that's okay because I did have some fun with it, beat it, and now I can move on. And that's gonna be it for the Big Retro Show. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, drop me a comment, leave me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.